Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that the foods you have been eating your entire life were quietly working against your body, slowly weakening your natural defenses without you ever realizing it. And imagine the shock of learning that simple everyday ingredients you walk past in the grocery store could actually help your body become stronger, healthier, and more resilient than ever before when used the right way. This is the moment many people experience when they finally understand how deeply food influences the body's internal environment, how certain choices can support the immune system while others suppress it, and how powerful it can be when you finally begin using nutrition intentionally instead of accidentally. Most people never think about the role their meals play beyond taste or cravings, but inside your body, every bite becomes information that your cells must interpret. And if that information is chaotic, inflammatory, or stressful, your system pays the price long before symptoms ever show up. Today, you are going to hear about 5 simple yet powerful food strategies that many people overlook, even though research has shown they may help the body function more efficiently, reduce unnecessary inflammation, and support the natural processes that help maintain cellular health. These are not magic tricks or miracle cures, but practical nutritional adjustments that can help your body operate in a cleaner and more supportive internal environment, and understanding them can shift the way you think about your meals forever. Most people underestimate just how quickly food influences the body. The moment you chew, your tongue sends signals to the brain. Enzymes begin preparing for digestion, hormones activate, metabolic pathways adjust, and within minutes your bloodstream starts receiving nutrients or toxins depending on what you chose to eat. When people say food is fuel, they are only telling half the story. Food is a message, a blueprint, a daily instruction manual for your cells. When those instructions are supportive, your body responds with energy, clarity, and strong immune function. When those instructions are confusing or inflammatory, your body responds with stress, fatigue, and a weakened internal environment. That is why these 5 food hacks matter. They help shift the daily information your body receives from harmful to helpful, from chaotic to supportive, from weakening to strengthening. The problem is that most people live in a constant cycle of eating without thinking, choosing convenience over nourishment, and repeating habits that drain the body instead of supporting it. You do not have to overhaul your lifestyle or adopt extreme diets to make a difference. Sometimes the smallest changes create the biggest improvements because the body is constantly responding, constantly adapting, constantly rebuilding, and constantly defending you even when you are unaware of it. Giving your body a better nutritional environment is like giving your immune system a strong foundation to stand on. The first thing to understand before learning these food hacks is that your body is always fighting for your survival. Cells repair themselves. Immune cells patrol your tissues. Enzymes clean up waste, and your system works non-stop to maintain balance. But when the internal environment is overloaded with processed sugars, damaged fats, chemical additives, and nutrient-depleted foods, the body becomes overwhelmed. Think of your immune system like a security team. Its job is to protect, scan, repair, and defend. But if that team is exhausted, underfed, and poorly equipped, it cannot do its job the way it was designed to. Many people unknowingly weaken this team every single day through their eating habits, but the good news is that the opposite is also true. You can strengthen this team by giving it foods that support repair, reduce unnecessary stress, and help create a calmer internal environment. This is why certain ingredients and habits have gained attention in nutrition research for their ability to support cellular health, reduce inflammation that burdens the body's natural defenses, and create conditions where the body can operate more effectively. Food hacks do not have to be complicated or unusual. In fact, the most powerful ones are usually the simplest. Adjusting the first meal of the day, swapping one type of fat for another, adding a specific spice at the right time, increasing natural fiber, and timing certain foods strategically can create measurable shifts in your energy, digestion, clarity, and overall wellness. These hacks are not trendy gimmicks, but evidence-based approaches that use real food in smarter ways. When you begin to understand why your body reacts to certain foods the way it does, you gain control. You move from guessing to knowing, from hoping to choosing consciously, from reacting to taking charge. Most people wait until something goes wrong before they pay attention to nutrition, but you are here now, taking a step many people never take, learning how to use your meals as tools instead of hazards. By the time you finish this video, you will understand how 5 small food choices can shift your internal environment in powerful ways that support your body's natural ability to defend, repair, and rebuild. And once you learn them, you will never look at your meals the same way again. When people finally start paying attention to how food affects their internal environment, they are often surprised to learn that the body is constantly communicating through signals we often ignore. And one of the biggest signals is inflammation. It is not the dramatic inflammation you see when you sprain an ankle, but the silent, low-grade kind that builds slowly over time when the body is exposed to processed ingredients, sugary snacks, artificial additives, and unhealthy fats that overwhelm your system day after day. This silent stress is one of the main reasons so many people feel tired, foggy, bloated, heavy, or constantly unwell without understanding why. The first food hack that can help shift this internal storm is learning how to replace inflammation, triggering foods with anti-inflammatory powerhouses that nourish rather than strain. It is not about dieting, it is about removing the constant irritation that keeps the body in defense mode. Whole foods rich in antioxidants, natural fibers, and micronutrients essentially help your body breathe again. When the burden of inflammatory foods decreases, your immune system can redirect its energy toward normal repair instead of endless firefighting. The beauty of this first hack is its simplicity, swapping refined sugars for natural sweetness, replacing trans fats with healthy fats from whole sources, choosing colorful vegetables and fruits instead of packaged snacks. These small changes create a ripple effect that influences digestion, immunity, and overall vitality. And most people notice differences sooner than expected because the body responds quickly when given relief. Another powerful nutritional shift many people overlook is the role of fiber. Not just any fiber, but the type that feeds beneficial gut bacteria. This is the second food hack, and it matters more than most people realize because your gut is the command center for much of your immune function. A well-fed gut produces compounds that calm inflammation, support cellular repair, improve detoxification, and help keep metabolic processes steady. But when the gut is starved of natural fiber and overloaded with processed foods, harmful bacteria take over, disrupting balance and creating an environment where the body struggles to maintain stability. Adding prebiotic-rich foods like garlic, onions, bananas, whole oats, and legumes into your meals can transform gut function within days. These foods act like fertilizer for your internal ecosystem, helping beneficial bacteria thrive and work on your behalf. When these bacteria flourish, they create protective compounds, improve digestion, and help reduce the stress load on your immune system. People often underestimate how much gut health affects energy, mood, clarity, and resilience. But when you begin feeding your microbiome intentionally instead of incidentally, you give your body one of the strongest internal support systems it can have. This is not about eating more, it is about eating smarter so the trillions of microscopic partners inside you can operate at their best. The third food hack is all about controlling blood sugar because unstable spikes and crashes drain the body's natural defenses more than most people realize. When you eat meals high in refined carbohydrates or sugary beverages, your blood sugar jumps dramatically, forcing your body to release insulin in large amounts. Repeating this cycle every single day creates a biochemical roller coaster that stresses your organs, disrupts hormone balance, and leaves your cells exhausted. Over time, this constant STR-ine makes your internal environment more chaotic than stable. But when you start pairing carbohydrates with protein, healthy fats, or fiber, you create a smoother, steadier rise in blood sugar that supports energy rather than drains it. Something as simple as adding a handful of nuts, a spoon of chia seeds, a slice of avocado, or a serving of lean protein to your meals can transform the way your body processes food. Even drinking a glass of water before eating or choosing foods with naturally lower glycemic loads can help. These small adjustments keep your body from constantly putting out fires caused by sugar spikes. And when the internal environment is calm, your immune system functions more efficiently. Controlling blood sugar is not about restriction, it is about creating balance so your body can operate without unnecessary strain. The fourth hack is understanding the power of natural spices and herbs, which many people treat as simple flavor enhancers but are actually some of the most potent nutritional tools available. Spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, black pepper, cinnamon, and oregano contain compounds that can support your body's natural anti-inflammatory processes. They help neutralize oxidative stress, encourage better digestion, improve circulation, and may even support cellular protection. Adding spices to meals is one of the simplest ways to enhance both flavor and internal resilience without changing what you eat dramatically. A teaspoon of turmeric in your morning smoothie, ginger in your tea, garlic in your dinner, or cinnamon sprinkled on whole grains can create consistent nutritional support the body appreciates. These small additions may seem insignificant, but repeated daily, they create meaningful shifts in how your system functions. Nature designed spices to defend plants from stress, and those same protective compounds can help support you, our body, when you use them regularly. These 4 food hacks alone can dramatically change your internal environment, but there is still one more incredibly important strategy that ties everything together. And once people understand it, they realize how powerful small nutritional adjustments can be when practiced consistently. Before we move into that final piece, it is essential to understand that the body is constantly responding, adapting, and adjusting to the choices you make every single day. Food can either burden or support, weaken or strengthen, stress or stabilize. When you begin using nutrition intentionally, you activate one of the most powerful tools you have for protecting your internal environment and supporting your natural defenses long term. The fifth and final food hack is all about understanding how timing plays a silent but powerful role in shaping your body's internal environment, because what you eat matters, but when you eat can completely change how your body processes, absorbs, and responds to that food. Most people go through their days eating at random times, snacking mindlessly, skipping meals, or overeating late at night, without realizing that these habits place unnecessary stress on the body and disrupt natural repair cycles that are meant to protect and strengthen you. Your system operates on a rhythm, a biological schedule that influences hormones, digestion, metabolism, and even cellular maintenance. And when that rhythm is supported instead of ignored, your body can perform tasks more efficiently. One of the most effective timing strategies is simply giving your digestive system a consistent break every day. Allowing a longer fasting window between dinner and breakfast gives your cells time to clear waste, reset hormonal signals, and reduce the constant workload that continuous snacking creates. Even shifting your last meal earlier into evening can make a noticeable difference in how rested you feel, how efficiently your digestion works, and how stable your energy becomes the next day. These changes do not require strict routines or extreme rules. They simply require awareness of how much your body appreciates structured time to do the behind-the-scenes work that keeps you functioning at your best. Another aspect of timing that most people underestimate is the importance of beginning the day with foods that stabilize rather than shock your system. Many people start their morning with sugary cereals, sweetened drinks, pastries, or processed snacks that create an immediate surge in blood sugar, followed by a crash that leaves them tired, irritable, and craving more sugar. But starting the day with balanced nutrients such as healthy fats, fiber, and protein gives your body a calm, steady foundation instead of a chaotic spike. A stable morning meal sets the tone for the rest of the day by supporting hormones, guiding energy levels, and minimizing cravings that often lead to poor choices later on. The difference between a chaotic morning and a balanced one may seem small, but it accumulates over time, shaping everything from focus and mood to digestion and metabolic resilience. When you pair this mindful morning approach with the earlier timing strategy, your body receives both structure and support, allowing it to operate more effectively throughout the entire day. Another part of timing that deserves attention is how beneficial it can be to incorporate moments of intentional hydration before meals. Most people confuse thirst with hunger, leading them to eat when their body is actually asking for water, which then stresses digestion and creates unnecessary strain. Drinking a glass of water before eating helps the body prepare for digestion, supports nutrient absorption, and prevents overeating caused by misinterpreted signals. It also helps the digestive tract function more smoothly, reducing the discomfort many people experience after meals without understanding the root cause. Even mild dehydration affects metabolism, focus, and immune function. So staying hydrated throughout the day is a simple but powerful way to create a more supportive environment for your entire system. Timing also plays a role in how specific foods interact with your physiology. For example, eating heavy meals late at night makes it harder for your body to rest because it must keep digesting instead of repairing. On the other hand, consuming nutrient-rich, lighter foods earlier in the day when your metabolism is naturally more active helps your body use energy more efficiently. Simply adjusting the size and content of your meals to match your body's rhythms can reduce stress and support natural balance. Many people feel immediately lighter, clearer, and more energized when they align their meals with their internal clock. And these benefits often grow stronger the longer they maintain this rhythm. Again, this is not about rigid dieting, it is about working with your body instead of against it. When all 5 food hacks, reducing inflammatory triggers, feeding beneficial gut bacteria, stabilizing blood sugar, using natural spices wisely, and aligning your eating with your body's rhythm, come together, something remarkable happens. Your system shifts from a constant state of stress to a state of support. Your digestive processes become smoother, your energy becomes more stable, your immune function becomes more efficient, and your overall internal environment becomes calmer. This does not happen because of complicated diets or extreme restrictions, but because you begin choosing foods and habits that work with your biology instead of fighting against it. Every small change you make communicates to your body that you are providing support instead of strain, nourishment instead of burden, balance instead of chaos. And when you repeat these habits daily, even the smallest adjustments compound into powerful long-term benefits. Most people never realize how much control they actually have over their internal environment until they begin making these changes and experiencing the difference firsthand. They notice clearer thinking, easier digestion, steadier energy, and a sense of internal strength that feels entirely different from the fatigue they once accepted as normal. You are not just eating food, you are shaping the conditions inside your body every single day. And when you finally understand how these food hacks work together, you gain the ability to influence your wellness from the inside out in a way that feels natural, achievable, and sustainable. You begin applying these 5 food hacks consistently, something powerful starts to unfold inside your body, something most people never experience because they remain stuck in cycles of poor nutrition, unpredictable eating habits, and chronic internal stress without understanding how deeply their choices influence their biology. You start to notice subtle shifts at first, like waking up with a lighter feeling, digesting your meals more easily, or experiencing clearer thinking throughout the day. These small improvements are signs that your internal environment is changing, signaling that the pressure on your immune system is reducing and that your cells are finally receiving the support they need to function at their best. Over time, these small shifts grow into noticeable transformations because the body is always rebuilding, always repairing, always responding to the input you give it. When you feed it nourishing foods, stabilize your blood sugar, use spices strategically, support your gut, and align your meals with your biological rhythms, you create a foundation that allows your natural defenses to operate without constant obstacles. You are essentially clearing the internal clutter that once forced your system into survival mode and replacing it with cleaner signals that help your body do the work it was designed to do. What many people fail to realize is that the body is incredibly resilient, but resilience does not happen automatically. It requires alignment, support, consistency, and the right internal environment. When your meals are filled with nutrient-rich whole foods, when your gut bacteria have the fuel they need, when your days begin with balanced nourishment, and when your nights give your system a chance to restore itself, you create a biological environment where strength becomes the default instead of the exception. This is why some people feel dramatically different after adjusting their eating habits even slightly. The body notices the difference immediately because it has been waiting for relief from the constant burden of processed ingredients, irregular meal times, unbalanced snacks, and inflammatory triggers. When these pressures finally begin to FA, your natural energy becomes more reliable, your digestion becomes more stable, your mood improves, and your sense of overall wellness becomes clearer. These are not miracles. They are the natural results of supporting your biology instead of fighting against it. People often look for complicated solutions, expensive supplements, or extreme programs to improve their health, but the truth is that the simplest habits are often the most powerful. You do not need to follow a rigid diet or give up everything you enjoy. You only need to understand how your choices shape your internal environment. Every meal, every ingredient, every timing choice sends a message to your body. And when those messages are supportive instead of stressful, your body responds with strength instead of struggle. Think of your internal environment like a garden. If you plant the right seeds, water them consistently, and remove the weeds that choke growth, the garden thrives naturally. But if you neglect it, overwhelm it, or feed it the wrong things, it cannot flourish no matter how much potential it has. Your body operates the same way. When you follow these 5 food hacks, you give your internal garden the sunlight, water, and nutrients it needs to grow strong and resilient. You are not forcing the change, you are allowing it. As you continue applying these strategies, you begin to understand that true wellness is not about temporary motivation, but about permanent awareness. You learn to read your body's signals, to recognize when a food choice drains you or when a habit supports you. You begin to trust your system more because you are finally working with it instead of pushing it beyond its limits. You discover that feeling energized, focused, and balanced is not a luxury, but a natural state your body can achieve when given the right internal environment. And this realization empowers you to make even better choices, creating a cycle of improvement that builds on itself day after day. You realize that food is far more than calories. It is communication, instruction, and partnership. And once you understand how to use that partnership wisely, everything about your wellness journey begins to shift in your favor. Now that you have learned these 5 powerful food hacks and understand how deeply they can influence your internal environment, this is your moment to take control of your health in a way you may have never done before. This journey does not require perfection. It requires intention, consistency, and a willingness to make small changes that lead to big outcomes. And if you found this information valuable, if you want more guidance, more deep dive explanations, more actionable steps that support your lifestyle, then this is your time to stay connected with us so you never miss another life-changing video again. Make sure you like this video right now to help the message reach more people who need it. Subscribe to the channel so you stay part of this growing community, and turn on the bell notification so you can watch our next video the moment it is released. Your journey toward a stronger, healthier, and more resilient body continues with every video we share. So hit that subscribe button and be ready, because the next step in your transformation is coming sooner than you think.